Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Reminiscing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. This is the month of February. If you watched my last episode, it featured my close calls in the month of January. February went a lot better for me. I made a lot of money this month, but I left a lot of money on the table. So we're gonna see what I could have done differently, perhaps, how I could have played differently to change some of these, finishes into maybe something a little better. And we're going to start with the Hot 75. I finished in 49th place here. Excuse me, this is actually the Hotter 75. And I want to, so basically the theme of this video is that no matter how, bad or whatever you think you're running, you can always play better in spots. You can always, work harder. You can always play better. I don't think I'm as good at poker as I was. I mean, I think I'm better at poker now than I was back then. And also, lack of focus, playing too many tables, not really hunkering down and having the discipline to, focus on a tournament when you're like getting really deep. I should be, I've corrected this now, but I should be like one tabling and just exhaustively looking at things. But I think at the start of 2014, I'd been winning so much, just mass tabling and just having no regard for stuff like that. I think I really had like a not a proper regard for money, and you can see this really hurt me in like a tournament like the Hot 75, where I made quite a few mistakes in the past review. So we'll look through this one. Hopefully it's corrected. I doubt it. I think there'll be plenty of mistakes in these videos, but the point is to just go back and you guys can kind of see a bunch of different, tournament situations from an established player such as myself and just kind of take a look at things. So very first hand we have two big blinds, so it looks like we might have been doing some stalling near the money and stuff, and we get in 6-8 suited. I'm just gonna quickly model this spot. Okay, you notice here that I opt to min raise under the gun. This is a sneaky little trick I like to do to third dog people who might be playing too many tables. If you min raise it, look, they might not realize how much you have behind. They might have like auto fold clicked or something and just fold. In this spot here, every hand is profitable. Actually, wait 1 second. It looks like this thing got met. Okay, so it's finally done. This is like 5 minutes in the future. I've been sitting here twiddling my thumbs. And here we are, 6-8 suited, nets nets a small blind, half of big blind. It's pretty unforgivable and inexcusable to miss the spot. In this spot here, because we're eating the big blind next, and we can do my favorite little min raise strategy. I actually think you can go like any two here, but like any two suited or whatever seems fine. But yeah, 6-8 suited is definitely going to belong here. So we get that in, and we win, which is good. Gotta fold 6-9. I would fold 6-10 here. This is a clear shove on the button. Looks good. And we actually have some chips to play with. There's a clear shove, pocket threes. Running quite hot. Coming back. Pocket tens. Kill streak continues. So now we actually have, actually the structure's way too fast, but we actually have 16 big blinds and we were down to 2. So pretty good. I think opening here is better than shoving. I think a good hand to shove in this spot would be pocket nines. I think as your pair gets higher, you dominate more of a big blind's defending range. And so, like if your opponent's defending, 8-9 suited, then that means that pocket sevens isn't a very good induce, but pocket jacks are. And as you open from earlier and earlier position, you actually end up getting defended by tighter and tighter ranges, which end up being like, queen jack off kind of hands. And at least, jacks will dominate one of them. Jacks won't dominate king queen or, whatever, but it'll generally dominate like one over. and that's like a pretty good thing to have. So I think inducing here is a lot better than open shoving. But I think with a hand like pocket sevens or something, it'd be pretty terrible to induce. And I see like bad regulars induce like all the time with hands they shouldn't be doing. So clear call here. Wow, suck it again. So running pretty good. Can't really moan at this point. We won threes versus nines, and then that one. Vixen Koala opens here. Generally on the tight side, if I recall. I mean, yeah, you could try and force this one through here. I tend to think she. I'm just gonna call her a she because Vixen Koala is about as she a name as it gets. Um, it has like not has to, but probably has it here, opening into a big blind that she'll have to call. She doesn't even have that many chips to begin with. She has like slightly under 30 bigs or whatever. I think it's a really thin spot to shove. You could shove if you had enough reads, but I tend to fold here. Maybe shove like eights or something. Okay, Jack 10 offsuit. Think this is a shove. Also keep in mind when she opens this spot and I have the sixes, I don't really know how she's playing at the time. We see she'll double here, and these aren't really reads I have in game either, which is unfortunate because I'm usually stacking a bunch of tables. But yeah, I don't really think she's yeah, I mean she played fours and ace king suited, so I don't think that's like really enough to say like, hey, you're like super out of line or whatever. I mean, out of this 29-24 sample or whatever, you know, I mean, it might not even all be in the same tournament. So yeah, it's hard to say really. See what yeah, she shows eights down there too. So I don't know. I'm happy with the fold with sixes. I think it's fine. Okay, now we have king six suited. I think there's a fold when the small blind's all in. And yeah, he has ace five, so it doesn't really tell us too much about his range, but I think it's fine. I think there's a jam on the button. Good to get that one through. I mean, this structure's so fast. It's basically like a super turbo at this point. So we pass here because Surfstar is committed in the big blind. I think this spot is interesting. Let's take a Okay, so I had future game sim on for the 6-8 suited because we were eating the big blind next. In this spot here, I don't have future game sim on. It's gonna have big blind calling any two, I'm guessing. So yeah, I mean it nets 200 chips, like 1/5 of an ante. I don't think this shove is appropriate, especially in a tournament so big. So I would pass here. I don't mind shoving like the suited versions of hands because they have more equity. I'd probably shove king queen off as well and ace jack. So okay, next hand. Pocket fives. I think it's a clear fold. I would fold versus just this guy alone as well. Should have just kept calling because we would have just kept sucking out or holding or whatever. I think the shove's pretty poor by this player. Actually, it's okay. Actually, no, it's not poor. He only has two stacks that cover him, so this is kind of like an effective, way smaller. I think you can try and flirt with a raise fold here though, because. But I guess he doesn't have the reads on the big blind. That the big blind seems more like tightish, and then Vixen probably three betting like a um what's the word, like a honest range. So I think you can try and slip one here. Yeah, I mean if I had like 16 or something bigs, like 14 for sure, I'm just fist pump shoving. I think even 18 is like a pretty good spot here for him to shove. So I think he just got a little unlucky. And I mean this you know format's just really fast. I think it's a mandatory get in. And we bust out the king nine offsuit. So I think his open's pretty clowny. It's a pretty clown open. I mean, it's not bad, I guess, because you have the one blocker. You have like 2 mild blockers or whatever. But yeah, and we bust out here. So no mistakes in this tournament. I generally have a pretty strong turbo game, so I wouldn't expect to see too many mistakes. So I'm glad that one checked out clean, and I didn't have an STD there. Okay, I want to apologize for that STD comment. I don't know what's wrong with me these days. This is the bigger 22. I finished 43rd out of thousand, like 10,000 plus entrants. So we're gonna, look over this one, see what we could have done differently to avoid our fates. 17-15 on like 25 bigs. Small sample. I think this is a play you can make if you want to. I don't really make this play anymore. I fold versus like people who seem to be playing like good tags or whatever. But I don't know. I think you can just make a case for opening any two there, because you can just assume that people aren't defending properly. Even if he three bets like 15% of the time, he's probably folding big blind too much and stuff. So I think you can just go any two and just kind of play careful. I have a pretty big stack here. I think I have a, a million chips. Yeah, so I have 123 big blinds. So at this point, I mean, it kind of looks like the tournament just might be mine for the taking. I fold ace 8 off here. I think this is fine. Maybe I'm feeling the table out. I'm not exactly sure. I fold king queen here. That's not fine. If I was playing today, I would open both hands. So not really sure what I'm doing. Okay, this is a clear defense. I choose to 3-bet this hand. So we are like kind of stepping into this tournament, I guess, with no game flow. I'm gonna go rewind actually. Alright guys, so we're actually at this table just broke. I mean, we just broke into this table, so I'm kind of dying to know how I punt off on 100 big blinds. I open a6 off here. So I had to call a reshove versus Dario rules. This is completely readless. Yeah, I don't really call versus big blind reshoves anymore. Let's take a look at this actually. Technically, theoretically, when people are in the big blind, they should not rejam quite as wide as from the small blind. So, just gonna take a look at this. I'm just gonna model this spot, so I'll be back. Okay, so I disallowed open pushes, so a6 off is a profitable open, and then according to game theory or Nash, this guy should be rejamming 15.5% of hands, which includes ace 10 off. He should just be calling with the lower a6 offs. Ignore the green on the right, by the way. Just look at these ranges over here. So he should be rejamming 2s, ace 10 suited, king 10 suited, king queen, queen 9 suited, jack 8 suited, 8 10 suited, 7 9 suited, 8 7 suited. Yeah, that seems like a better range for being from the big blind. I think rejamming a6 off is fine there as well. I think my call's kind of so take that for what it's worth. These spots are kind of hard to deal with in a field as big as the big 22, the bigger 22, because you don't really know what he's thinking or like how he plans on playing. I would open this, so I'm just gonna talk as if I was playing. I think that a6 off really gives me kind of maybe a spewy, like fearless image. So I think this king 7 suited blocker should be an open. This is a clear open, but it opens in front of me. I think there's a fold. And once again, I'm talking as if I was playing today. So we already talked about the spot. I think this opens okay. Nothing too amazing. And we are like close to readless, by the way. I think this is an open for sure. I think this is an open for sure. Wow, this guy just open shoved like 50 big blinds. Seems pretty terrible. Okay, I 3-bet this hand. I don't ever do this now. I think I maybe had a poor understanding or whatever. I see a lot of people like turn hands from the big blind into bluffs. Like I've seen people 3-bet like jack 5 suited in this spot. I've seen people 3-bet like ace 6 off in this spot. I think especially readless, those are just completely the wrong hands to, go after. And I think king 2 off as well is a hand that actually does like pretty well versus like a 40% button range. It has 40% equity. But then when you 3-bet and you're left with like a 15% range, then it's doing like really poorly. But there's examples of hands that you know actually have similar equity to a 15% range and a 40% range, like low suited connectors and stuff, and maybe those are the hands that you would want to 3-bet with. So I would always call here for the king value. If I was playing today, I don't like this play at all. Not good. Okay, Bebenis has been really active, or will be active soon over a small sample. I just 3-bet before and I get done with through. Is a clear open. I think this is fine. 3-bet call. So I mean, my image is pretty bonkers at this point, I would say. But the table doesn't seem to be resisting too much, so I really wish I had opened those hands before as well. Okay, this is a tough spot. I think the range he's repping has us crushed. I don't think a lot of people that I don't recognize are capable of being like too light here. So if I was playing today, I would call. I think this is also okay with exactly tens, but I would generally call there if I was playing today. And then it will be flop, and then he probably bet, and then I'd probably fold. And if it was like a regular or something I recognize more that was like more capable, then I'm very happy jamming. Okay, this guy open limps. I don't think we should ISO. The pertinent stat here is his 7% limp here. So he's generally, I would say limping like probably like good broadways and stuff that he's almost always going to see a flop with. So I don't think it would be a very good idea here to try an ISO. I think that line, I mean, he's pretty clearly a fish. That's kind of an example of a hand that single-handedly would let you know that someone's a fish, pretty much. I would open this in general. Maybe I'm trying to change gears or whatever, but I would open it still. Definitely open this on the button. Queen 7 is definitely a fold. I would HUD flat this a lot. This guy seems to have been pretty active. Yeah, I think this is a clear call. Maybe with the 2.5 he might be a little stronger, but you see he folds there despite the fact that I've just been piling on him relentlessly. Now he jams 15 bigs, and I think there's a clear call. There's a few 30 stacks, 30 big line stacks that might, cause us a lot of like pain and stuff if they wake up. But ace queen's like a really good hand to call with in this spot because of its blockers. So I think that's fine. Not like too many mistakes so far, just kind of running a little salty, I would say. Maybe the tens is a slight mistake in the bigger 22. I mean, is he really capable of being light there? Like I somehow I doubt it. So, it's probably better to just call there. I think this is an open as well. I think also a lot of times like players when they suck out or whatever, they feel guilty about it, and so they kind of let off and like don't go as hard in the next few hands. It's kind of a theory I have based on my own experience and stuff. So, but I think folding there is fine as well. Okay, 4-7 offsuit. Multi-way here, I think this can definitely be a call. I've been a little more careful with my big blind defense. I felt like I was getting a little too spewy and playing with like kind of ranges that were too loose. So your mileage may vary here. I think this is pretty close to a clear call though, given that the 4 and the 7 don't really interact with these two players' ranges too much. Although Bebemis seems to be like quite loose and playing like a correct style, I would say, in a bigger 22. I wouldn't mind a 3-bet here, but I've been pretty damn 3-bet happy, so can probably just not. I think this is an open. If it folds me, I think he'll get and just loses a huge chunk here. Pot goes 4 ways to the flop. I'm just gonna like range them or whatever. Okay, so I think this check raise is like monstrously strong. I would range this guy to 2 pairs in sets exclusively. You know, theoretically, people act like they can have combo draws in this spot or whatever, but I don't think so. I think this guy has like a monster every time. So if I have ace king here, I'm folding. If I have ace queen, I'm folding. I'm only continuing with like really strong hands. So yeah. Okay, this guy flat calls, which is good. I don't think it's too good as like a range play to do anything other than that. I'm gonna guess that Babamis has a monster here, and that Geddon has like ace queen or ace king that he's not able to fold. So this isn't that good of a range play unless you have like a set or something. If he has like if he turns up with like ace king here or something though, it's not very good. Okay, so yeah, so Babam has had a monster here. I think check raising here is fine. Once this bet is called, I think you can expect to get stacks in versus worse like a lot of the time here. So I think his check raise is fine being multi-way. Heads up, not really in love with check raise. And then I think get in just kind of got coolered here. When you hold an ace and a jack and you discount aces and jacks from your opponent's range, I mean, this is just a really crappy spot because you're pretty much like up against a range of combo draws, maybe ace six, pocket sixes, like really discounted aces and ace jack, and then you're chopping with ace jack. So I mean, this is just pretty much a cooler, and yeah, it's kind of unfortunate for the guy. So generally, when someone loses a big pot like that, you never know what emotional state people are in. So I don't mind just folding there. King 3 off on the button here, I think there's an open. King 7 on cutoff, I think is a fold. I think there's a clear open as well. So Daryl has been really active. Let's see how he wins his chips as well. So he's gonna win his chips rejamming. This is a terrible rejam. This guy's terrible. I think we should 3-bet him here with pocket sevens and then see what he does. He's been way too loose. I think this is actually definitely even just a call maybe. He's opened, you know, 6 out of 15 times in MP. I mean, that's definitely a pattern. He's opened 41% in early position. This guy's just way too loose. I would 3-bet him here if I was playing today, and maybe jam. I would 3-bet him here as well, so it's pretty weak. I would probably open here. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a spot where I should be, you know, dropping my tables to like 1 and then just laser focusing, but I think I'm playing pretty poopy. So not a fan of this at all. I think it's also an open. I don't know why I'm playing so tight. It's like really baffling to me. This is February 2014, by the way. I think all the hands before with blockers are better opens than this. This could still be an open. I don't mind folding. But yeah, I mean, this is just bad. It is an open. This is an open. Wow. What is going on? I mean, this is like really bizarre to me. I feel like I'm in Bizarro World or something. I'll fold queen 2 off though. I think this is an open. Sound like a broken record. I think this is an open. I don't even mind 3-betting him here actually. Just bleeding away. I'll probably shove here if it folds to me. I would have won a flip. I think this 3-bet sizing's a bit too small. I would make it more like 80k if I was playing today. Get called forward and called. I don't know why I'm falling here. I think this is probably a call. But Bamis has been really loose. This guy can call. I don't know. I mean, this spot might be close. I'm not sure. Let's just go ahead and see their hand so we can be results oriented. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's open. Wow, this is so bad. You can fold here at a new table. Maybe I thought like my image was just too crazy or something. I don't really know what the heck I'm doing, but that man, that was so bad. This is a terrible fold. I don't know why I'm folding here. I really sucked back then or something. I don't get how I play so well in turbos, but here I'm just like just wow. Not too big a fan of this reshove. I think if I was playing today I would hood flat. Maybe you can look at how big his stack is and just think like, you know, he might open too much. But I mean, you still have to get through 5 other players. I would generally hood flat if I was playing today. So yeah, I mean, just a really bad hand history, man. That was like brutally bad. Um, yeah, I mean, not much to say about that. Pretty disappointed with that one. I think this is a 28th place finish in the Big 55. Let's take a look. Okay, so yeah, I'm kind of depressed by that hand history. That was so bad in the bigger 22, which has to be like one of the softest tournaments imaginable. I think this is a hot 55, so yeah, I'm pretty depressed. Yeah, I think calling here is fine, even though the small line's out. Get lucky there. All standard. Clear fold. I would raise fold here. I think that's fold. Looks like I get involved. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of this open. It's okay with the king blocker, but yeah, not. I don't really do that too much anymore. This shove is like okay. It's not like great, but it's okay. It's probably winning. Shove here. Yeah, this is fine. The effective stacks just make it so it's okay. There's a clear shove when folded to. There's a clear shove. Just clear get in. Bad run out for big meech. I have no clue what a meech is, by the way. These are just clear folds. Phoenix good regular. These are folds. Just pretty standard. 7-10, clear fold. 5-9 suited, clear shove. But it's not even folding to us, so whatever. Clear shove. Okay, 9 suited. Gonna be a call. Fold, clear shove. Table breaks. Actually, no, it doesn't. Never mind. Move tables. This must be getting near the final 27. Clear shove. Clear shove. Queen 9 off. This spot's kind of close. I think this should generally be a call versus a lot of people. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Alright, so yeah, Queen 9 off, calling is going to net us about a big blind, which is pretty big considering we can bust the player. I think some people shove wider than this. I think some people shove tighter than this, but it's just good to have a good, idea of what the Nash calling range is. So I wouldn't really love a call with Queen 8, but I think with Queen 9 is kind of a fist pump. So yeah, 5 big blinds. I mean, it's just whatever. So that's that for the hot 55. So we're gonna bust out here. Let's take a look at this one as well. I might actually fold this nowadays because I know like you're technically supposed to call. Actually, yeah, I'd probably fold this. I don't think it's that great. Let's see how many chips it generates. I'll generally fold though and wait to try and get my chips in during the next orbit. Yeah, I mean this call net's like an ante or something, so I don't really love this. I don't eh, not a huge fan. Okay, this tournament is the big 109. We get ninth in this tournament. I played the big 22 really poopy, so I'm dying to see how poorly I play this one. Just mega unhappy with the big 22. And mega unhappy with the reviews in January as well. So, yeah. Alright, big 109. We have about 40 bigs. It's got open limps. I think this is always a check back. We have trips. I think it's just a call down. I think my sizing on river is okay. Can probably size bigger though. Just a little bit. Raise fold all day here. Versus someone so nitty. Clear open. I'm kind of leaving Biney alone. He seems pretty aggro. It is a clear open. It is a clear fold. I think it is a clear open. Too tight. I mean, recently I've done a lot of work with under the gun ranges using like hold'em resources and like realizing how good blockers like Queen Jack and Ace 10 and stuff are and how profitable they are. So yeah. I think calling here is generally best. I think you can 3-bet if you want to like click buttons or whatever, but I'd rather have this in my calling range. This is terrible. I don't know why I'm folding here. I'd actually, if someone put a gun to my head, I'd rather shove than call. I mean, shove than fold. Calling's probably best, but like, it's like he's not really repping anything. I think the way this guy's playing is like kind of clowny. I think generally when people do this, like not good players do this, so not like top tier regulars. I tend to think they have a mix of either complete error or like sets, and like really good players would almost never check back sets here. They would just bet and bet and bet. Raising turn is kind of an interesting spot. Like it hasn't really been solved yet or like approached in training videos. But generally here, like I would at least call, but shoving seems great as well. So hate that. I would shove here. I think there's a clear open. Yeah, it looks good. Clear open. Yeah, it looks good. I don't really think we should be sizing down on turn. Actually, it's fine. We have trips. Yeah, so it seems okay. I would get this in. Yeah, it looks good. This is so bad. Man, this guy's such a dolt. Like, this is so bad. I mean, this guy shoves like less than 9 big blinds over like some random nittier type with like no fold equity. I mean, it's just so bad. So bad. I'll raise fold here. I'll raise fold here. I'll raise here. It's kind of annoying. I'll raise here. It's pretty clear check back. I mean, this fish is giving us some troubles as well. Readless, I think we can call, but generally shoving is also okay, especially for someone who's gonna end up playing like Zen Master. But I think generally it should be a call. He raised call King Jack, which is interesting. Shove this button, looks good. Clear open here. Yeah, I like this hood flat a lot. Looks good. I don't mind a 3-bet here, but I think generally we can just fold considering he's opening into these reshow stacks. I like this hood flat. Again. Looks good. Again here, I mean you could 3-bet. You could jam if you really wanted to. I would just rather put this into my calling range though. I mean, we are gonna get those flops sometimes, I guess, but nothing you can do about that. I'll open here. I'll fold here. I'll fold here. Fish seems pretty sticky, and I think everyone's just looking to battle. Clear call with a7. Good open. Get jammed on, which sucks. I'll fold here. Fold. Alright, this must be getting close to the final table. I think there's a raise call. Good. Lucky, lucky. Yeah, seems standard. There's a clear call here with 5-10 suited. Bad fold. I'm fine with folding here versus the fishy guy. Yeah, it's a fold. Clear folds. Pretty standard here. These are all like just standard folds. I would probably try and limp here. Fold, fold. Alright, good hand. Huh, okay. This guy's kind of a fish. He's been doing a bunch of random stuff. He steals a ton. I think we can shove here. I think we can call. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with shoving there for sure. I'm fine with folding there. These are all folds. Okay, and I'm pretty sure this is the final table. If I was playing today, I would try and steal here. So, but I don't. Now we can see it might have worked. I remember this hand. Okay, so Zen Master was really active with like the final 2 tables or whatever, so I end up calling here. And yeah, so I don't really play flops like this anymore. Theoretically the play's okay, but I don't really play like this anymore. I actually always check call now. So yeah, I didn't really feel too good about this shove at the time, and it kind of blew up in my face because he had ace-9 and we have very poor equity, so not too good there. I'll check call and fold to future barrels. Okay, well we might make a comeback here. Trying to ladder. Don't have much going on though. I know we're just gonna have to dump it in here. And this was a pretty big punt by Zen Master. I mean, I think he should just fold here. He decides to call, and he decides to call, and he decides to call. It's just not too good. So anyways, yeah, that was the big 109. I hate that check shove. But that's not really like a huge mistake. I mean, it is a huge mistake, but what I mean is it's not really like a mistake that I can blame myself for, because it's not until I got like, you know, some additional coaching and like more work with my game that I realized that that's not supposed to be a check shove. Although I see a lot of people still, you know, check shoving and stuff, which I don't think is very good. Okay, last review. This is the 109 rebuy that I get 7th in. We've seen a lot of leaks so far in my other tournaments, so I'm gonna expect to see some here. Got Cleeth in the house, B Paris in the house, some OG American regulars. Yeah, I think shoving here is the best play with 7s. I'm not sure what stage of the tournament this is. I don't remember this tournament at all. I don't really do this anymore, although I think it's profitable. I generally tend to flat here nowadays, but if someone's like active enough, then it definitely becomes fine. So I mean, like, why let them, you know, have their equity? Hood flat ace queen fold. This is really bad. I never do this now either. I just call. I mean, it's okay if like you think you're getting value, but generally you're not really getting too much value. I would always call here. He is also leading two ways, so yeah, we got really lucky there. Just like, yeah, we got really lucky there. Ace nine off, tough table, but I might go for one here. I would fold here though. It's a really tough table. 5-10 off. This guy doesn't really fold to 3 bets. I would call here if I was playing today. King Jack, clear open. look at all this clicking. This is gangster. 3-bet, cold 4-bet, cold 5-bet for half a stack. Hood flat. Insane. Ace king, standard open. I'll jam on this guy all day here. Just get out of B pairs' way though. I'll fold here. These guys are too aggressive. Just tighten up my ranges. Clear ISO. I don't really like this call. I would rather jam. Clear open. This Hazards guy seems like pretty damn aggressive. Things are clear open. Probably want to see this hand. Hazards again, 3-bets. Wins flip. Clear call. I don't really size like this on flops anymore. I'll just bet like half pot or so. I would generally limp here. So open. Oh, the G curl has been playing pretty aggro, I guess. I like this 3-bet. Good spot. Wish I did that more. Just a really good spot. Okay, not sure what stage of the tournament this is either. I'm fine with folding here. Oh wait, okay, so he ISO, but he only has 20 bigs. Never mind. I think this is a clear get in. Yeah, we win some of it. G curl is shoving queen 9. I think it's a bad shove. Not good. Fine with opening here. Table's pretty tough though. I mean, I think it's fine to not open. I think this is a clear open. I would always open this if I was playing today. I mean, basically every player left to act is a good regular, and some of them are really tough. So, yeah. Leope plays really tough. Hazards looks like he's playing really tough. Cleeth is really good. Curls, I mean, this is just like not too great of a lineup. I hate this 3-bet. I never do this anymore. Not a fan of that. Think there's an open for sure. I mean, people 3-bet a lot, but that doesn't mean you should fold like queen jack off from the cutoff. Clear open. I think I'm just playing way too tight versus all these 3-betters. But you should just stick to hands with blockers and stuff that can play well and stuff you can click back and just stuff like that. I don't mind folding the ace 2 though. It's pretty weak stuff though. 3-bet call versus Cleef here. He jams ace 3 off. Not a huge fan of that. I don't love that very much. Alright, so now we have a lot of chips. Fold 6, 7. Now I would fold here too. Leope is pretty damn aggressive. I'll jam here a lot, but calling is obviously the more standard play. This looks good. Clear jam. Clear open. Cristiano doing something weird. He decides to open like 12 big blinds under the gun. I wouldn't lead this turn. I'll just check. But he folded. Jam. I don't mind folding here either. Okay, move tables. It looks like, or something. This might be the final table. Not sure though, so we won't make those assumptions. Folding. I would generally defend here. He doesn't really fold to 3-bets. I would generally defend here though. Definitely not folding that. This is a close spot. I'm probably getting this in actually. I mean, maybe not though, because you still have 2 people who can wake up. I think generally though this is gonna be a call. That would have been a clear defense. I think this good spot to open. The auction's like really aggressive though, so I don't mind folding here. I don't mind folding here. But you know, when you kind of play tight ranges, you have to, you know, defend your big blind properly because people are just gonna get like really aggressive and stuff. Lose a flip there. This might be the final table actually. I'll probably try and limp here. This is a clear call. I think I played a lot weaker from the big blind back in the day. It's clear, get in, and lose another flip. So I mean, yeah, we're just playing a tight, solid game, you know. Which I mostly agree with, but I think we were a little too tight with certain Broadway hands, and we just lost 2 flips at the end, and that was game. Kind of sucks. I think we got to the table with a ton of chips, but I mean, you just lose 2 flips, and it's just gonna be that. Maybe we could have done more to pad our stack. Maybe if we had stolen more, we would have changed the RNG of our destiny. But I don't know. I mean, I think that was fine. So yeah, just to recap, I mean, I think you know it's pretty clear that the bigger 22 hand history was just like an abomination. And as everyone gets better at tournament poker, I don't think you can get away with whatever I was doing in both these months. So you know, it's easy to like moan about how like I didn't make how much I wanted to last year or whatever, but when you look at the quality of the play, it's like pretty damn poor. So I'm pretty disappointed. Hopefully we turn this around in the next few months recap, but hopefully you guys are enjoying this. This has been Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, guys. Thanks for watching.